Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Father Bill, for inviting me to speak before the community this morning. Those words from the psalm, sung so beautifully by the Sacred Heartbeats, you know my name, you know my heart, you know my words even before I speak them, is heartening to me because it gives me that strength and courage to be able to open up to you about the gift of stewardship. I'm used to being up here and reading the word of the Lord, so my own words, I must humbly say, never can do justice to that word. And in that light, I'll just quote this phrase from 1 Corinthians in the theme that I'm about to speak about. There is one body, but it has many parts, but all its parts make up the body. We were all baptized by one Holy Spirit, and so we are formed into one body. So the body is not made up of just our parts. It is made up of many parts. You are those many parts. Again, I am Michael Matondi, and I've been a member of this parish since 1978. We brought up our children. They were sacramentalized, confirmed first communions, first reconciliation, and my granddaughter was baptized here. My first granddaughter was baptized here almost 20 years ago. So this church is family to me and has been a very welcoming family and an opportunity for me to grow as a Christian and as a member of the community. Again, I go back in my own life. I grew up in Medway at St. Joseph's Parish in Medway, where I was an altar server, and that was in the days, I don't know how many of you can remember pre-Vatican II, what the church was like. Can I see a show of hands? Pre-Vatican II. Well, it was certainly a lot different than it is now. Here we are. The Eucharist and the consecration of the Eucharist has all come forward, and you, the community, has come forward. And it has gone from being a monologue that was generally given to us by the priest with his back turned in that direction. And it was really not something that was a dialogue, which it has become. By the same token, in the years that I've been here at Sacred Heart, I have seen it become more of a dialogue, especially under our current pastor, Father Bill, who has opened up these gates and invited us to come into stewardship. I use that analogy of the one body and made up of many parts. Well, you consider in your own life, if you have personal health issues, how you might suffer and your body doesn't thrive because of one part of it not being healthy. I recently had some surgery on my toe, and because of that I haven't been able to attend yoga and get on the treadmill, so my body is being affected by the fact that one of the many parts that make up my body is not being effective for me. Sports teams in the same way. You watch a basketball game or a football game, and if one person is out from that team doesn't function the way it should. Business and work life the same way, and even on an even more evident matter, families. If one member of the family is missing or not taking part in the family doesn't function. I have been involved in ministry since 1978 when I read the word of the Lord here for the first time. I eventually became a Eucharistic minister, and now that I'm retired, I have much more time and find meaning in my life by doing hospital ministry, home visits, and a bereavement ministry where I serve at wake services and also at funerals. And the weekend has been interspersed with 3 different aspects of age in doing these presentations. Last night at the 4 o'clock, it was Joe Buckley who spoke. Joe is in his, I would say, probably late 40s, in midlife. This morning, Casey Goyat spoke. He's about 15 or 16 years old, and he was just terrific. And I am now, having come from that middle-aged group, I am now in the elder group, the retirement group. So to those of you who are retired, I can say that there's life here at Sacred Heart and opportunity for you to find meaning in your life by opening up to some of the ministries that are available. The commitment packet came out to you earlier in the week, and looking it over. It's a beautiful way to do a spiritual inventory of your own lives. It shows all of the possible ministries that we offer here at Sacred Heart, and then it has a form that you can fill out, and you're being asked to fill that out. And this is not to get into your, judge you in any way, but it's to give you an opportunity to express yourself through your time, your talent, and your treasure. So I would urge you to share this as a family, communicate about it, consider what you can give. And again, from my aspect, if you are retired, don't allow yourself to miss out on the opportunity to come here and more than experience the Sunday Mass, but to take part in the Sunday Mass or in the very many other aspects of contribution that you can make to our parish. I'd like to finish. It was very interesting that the Book of Wisdom said that gold is but sand. So there is true value to be found in sharing your treasure with others. And the person in Mark who asked, "What can I do to inherit everlasting life?" Well, you can certainly start by coming to Mass, but you can expand that by taking part in Mass from a stewardship point of view. Definition of stewardship: it's a countercultural and challenges the worldly philosophy that what we have gives us value, and it is solely ours. Instead, we are endowed with dignity because of an intimate relationship with God, and because all our time, talent, and treasure and assets are God's gift to us. We use these gifts to become co-creators and protectors of all life, live out our God-given vocations, and strengthen and persevere the church, preserve the church at all levels: domestic, parish, diocese, and universal, now and into the future. Humbly, I ask you to ponder these reflections. Survey your commitment cards and respond by making yourselves one of the many parts that unify the body that is Jesus Christ, alive and thriving in our midst here at Sacred Heart. For where your heart is, there your treasure shall be. May your treasure be found here with us at Sacred Heart, our home away from home. Thank you very much. God bless you.